All right, guys, we did the giveaway. Here's the winner right here. We did our random drawing and came up with this guy right here. Really excited after contacting him. Turns out he's actually a veteran, Purple Heart, super cool guy. So glad this will be going to him. He chose our Black Crusader 2.0, so that's getting shipped out right away to him. And then we've got some other giveaways coming. So from We the People holsters and some other things. So stay tuned.
Ryan was stationed at Fort Stewart in Georgia when orders arrived for a third tour of duty.
And they came down on orders for Afghanistan. Well, they needed soldiers to go, so I volunteered to go with my unit.
Ryan joined his unit and shipped out to Afghanistan. His area of operation, the Logar province.
And it was all mountainous terrain and crops and irrigation canals. Our main mission, it seemed when we went out, was we did what we called counter IED missions. We would go out and do patrols, and we would take the explosive ordnance disposal guys with us, and we would locate these IEDs and detonate them in place, so that way they weren't a danger to anybody. And it seemed like every day we went out, we at least found 2 to 3 IEDs. So we were actually doing a very good job out there.
Ryan?
We were starting a dismounted mission. We had left from our OP, which was OP English at the time, and we had packed all our gear with us and had the EOD guys. And as we crested this little, I guess you would say dried out canal, the next thing I know, there was just dust everywhere. I don't remember hearing the explosion or anything.
Ryan and his 3 comrades triggered a pressure plate IED. They were only meters away when it detonated.
One of the other soldiers, he took shrapnel through the hand, a hole in his hand, and the other 2 guys took shrapnel in the back and up the side. I luckily didn't take any. And we ended up having to call in a medevac, and we called in the helicopter, and at the time I felt like I was fine. And when I got to the bottom of the hill, it was just one of those, I started not feeling good, and I was like, something's wrong. And the next thing I know, I was waking up in the aid station with them asking me questions about what happened.
Medics rushed Ryan to a concussion care clinic.
And a couple of the other guys were in there. They stayed for about 3 days, and I ended up having to stay for 8 days. That was a little disheartening, knowing everybody else was out there, but you were still stuck there getting the medical attention.
He would never walk another battlefield. Superiors assigned Ryan to radio duty.
It was a terrible feeling. I mean, you spend all that time going out every day with your guys, and then all of a sudden, the only attachment you have to them is a radio.
4 weeks later, Ryan came home.
I think that's when a lot of my problems with PTSD and hypervigilance and all that stuff really took effect. It was once I got home, because I had actually lost, going home, you lose all that structure.
The government presented Ryan with a Purple Heart. Still wrestling a traumatic brain injury, he began the long process of reintegrating into civilian life. Ryan used his GI Bill to enter the police academy. He graduated and went to work with the Central Florida Police Department.
I think I left the military still wanting to serve, and finding that job allowed me to still do that.
Still, Ryan struggled with ghosts of war.
At first, I didn't want to go out anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see people. I just wanted to be in my room by myself, relaxing, which I was just shutting myself out from the world. And it just was not healthy in the long run. And it took my stepmom pretty much dragging me out to do the kayaking trip to even get me outside.
Turned out time on the water would change Ryan forever.
And I honestly think that was the start of my recovery. I mean, fishing and being on the water is what really saved me, and I try to do it as much as I can now. I've been really fortunate, especially here in Florida. with all the different programs they have. I mean, I get to go out and fish and do hunting trips through the state. And even coming out here and doing this, I think it's better than any medication anybody can ever take. And I think it helps just so much more.